Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to my live tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Christy Faith. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hi, come on in. I'm Christy Faith. We're here to talk all about education and homeschooling and child development and parenting and anything that you want to talk about tonight regarding creating a happy and healthy childhood for our kids. I am here for it. Hi, welcome. I'm Christy Faith. Yay! I see you guys coming in. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. Hello, YouTube. And hello, TikTok. Mwah. Love you guys. Hi, welcome. Come on in. Oh, look, I already got a heart. Who gave me a heart? Is it one of my friends? Is it somebody in my membership? Let me know. Hi, welcome. Come on in, everybody. Love you guys. I'm Christy Faith. Welcome. Let's talk about child raising, education, parenting, how to create a really wonderful, enriching childhood for our kids. That's what I'm here for tonight. On this Sunday evening. Hi, everybody. It's a cold night here in Denver, Colorado, but it's beautiful here. We have snow on the ground, and I just love it when there's a chill in the air. Hi, everybody. Where are you from? Let me know where you're from. Let me know how many kids you have. Are you on this live tonight because you homeschool, or are you considering homeschooling, or no, are you just interested in parenting topics and becoming the best parent that you can be? Let me know. Come on in, everybody. If you're one of my friends and I know you, please introduce yourself. Tell me. Hello, Instagram. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. And hello, TikTok. My love. Yeah, we have a question already.
Am bad. Ohio. I have
Yay.
2 and trying to convince the hubby.
Is he here tonight? Go get your husband. Tell him when he's back. I want him to watch me tonight. I want him to ask me all the questions he needs to. Okay? Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Christy Faith. We're here to talk all about education and raising happy, healthy kids, creating a wonderful home environment for them so that they have amazing, enriching childhoods, hopefully with as least amount of trauma as we can give them. Yes, another question. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. I see a lot of people coming in. Hi, I'm Christy Faith. Let's talk about parenting, schooling, all sorts of things tonight. Yes.
Miss Liz says 3 kids, Northern Illinois. Want to move somewhere warm and homeschool.
Oh, move somewhere warm. Well, don't move to Colorado because it's pretty cold here today. I've been in this beanie since I got home from church. Hello, Melissa. Hi. Welcome, everybody. I made such a good dinner tonight. My in-laws are here because we had a birthday. One of my children had a birthday. And so my in-laws flew in from California to spend the days with us. They're downstairs helping the kids clean the kitchen so that I'm here with you. So grab your water. I wish this was coffee, but beggars can't be choosers right now because I have my in-laws and my kids cleaning my kitchen. So,
Laura says, hi, from Canada.
Hi, Laura from Canada. And that one lady, go get your husband. Bring him back. Have him ask me the questions right now. Seriously, that's why I'm here.
Amy Edwards says,
I'm looking for hand lotion.
Amy says, I love the hair change.
Oh, thank you, Amy. What do you notice different? The blonde. So it's really dark at the root, though. It's just the root is covered. I don't know. You know what's interesting? Can I tell you something about my hairdresser? So my hairdresser knows about me. And she, no matter what I tell her to do, she does what she wants to do. And I think it's because it's her reputation on the line on my social media. So yeah, how are you feeling about this situation here? Honest feedback, you guys. Honest feedback. I just want to look lovely. I don't want to make egregious mistakes. So thank you.
Bam Bam follows up with finding the time to homeschool and being persistent. I guess that's what she's trying to figure out.
Okay, trying to find the time. Are you a working homeschool mom? Because I am. Stay on if you are. We can talk about being a working homeschool mom. Thank you, Spice Girl. Tell you what you want, what you really, really want. I love Spice Girls. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Shane, Unfocused. Yeah, so it came out a little bit lighter than I was expecting. My hairdresser just does what she wants to do because she's always commenting on how she feels about my hair when she sees it on social media. So I have pressure to make it look good for her. I think she has pressure to make it look good for whoever, her reputation, for you. Thank you. Yeah, it is a little bit more blonde lately. We'll see. We'll see how we like it. Yeah, hi everybody. Welcome. Come on in. I'm Christy Faith. We can talk all about education this evening, parenting, raising happy, healthy kids, creating a nurturing, wonderful environment for their childhoods. I'm here for it, and I'm here for you, so let's talk.
So Bam follows up again with, I work from home full-time, and
Okay.
hubby has 2 businesses.
Yes.
And work-life balance is already busy. How am I going to do this?
Yes, so you sound like us. You sound like us. How old are your kids? I'd love to know. I'll wait for your response. I want to know how old your kids are, because being a working homeschool mom and doing it successfully, it looks so different based on the age and stage of your kids, believe it or not. And so I would say the hardest stage for being a working homeschool mom is when you have littles, really, really littles, because then you end up needing like to hire out childcare. As they get older, they can work next to you, like right alongside you, right? So I would love to know that. It definitely is doable. What I have learned is that I can't choose the same curriculum that other people choose. There are certain curricula options that I really like that are parent intensive, and those are a high priority for me. But then there are other subjects in school that I either outsource through online homeschool academies where my kids take live online classes, or it's a really open and go type of a curriculum where I can check in with them during the day. So I do a big mixture to make it work for being a full-time homeschool mom. And I also work from home, so I choose my hours. So I wake up really early and I hammer out quite a bit before my kids even wake up. And then I work in the afternoon, and then I work again in the evenings. But oh, hi. You're so sweet, you guys. Cast iron corpses. Yes.
James Carey, what would be the first steps to switching over to homeschooling and finding a group?
The first step to switching over to homeschooling is grabbing my free 26-page How to Homeschool guide. It's free, no strings attached. Grab it. It's good. It's not one of those freebies that like are lame, that don't give you anything. It's good. So grab that, and then that will give you a really good head start, and it will walk you through the steps that you need to go through.
Yeah, Melanie Vasquez.
Hi, Melanie.
Question,
Yeah, I know Melanie. Hi.
Question, been homeschooling, been easy, and
Why don't you just DM me?
an hour,
Because you're in my group.
an hour a day or so. Is it supposed to be easy?
Wait. Repeat. I'm just upset. I'm glad you're on my live, but you could DM me this because you're in my group. Okay, what's her question again?
Been homeschooling, been easy, an hour a day or so.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be this easy?
Yeah, it is supposed to be that easy, and it can be that easy depending on the style of homeschooler you are and how old your kids are. But if your kids are little, homeschooling should not be more than an hour a day. So it's a huge misconception in our society that, and I know, Melanie, you already know this. This is for the other people watching. That it's a huge misconception. If you are currently not a homeschooler and you're like, how on earth do these moms do it? It's because homeschooling does not take 7 hours a day. No education of a child takes 7 hours a day. Ask any school teacher, and I was one. It does not take 7 hours a day. It takes very, very little time, and most of the time in our schools is busy work, classroom management, that type of a thing. There's other reasons why we have a 7-hour school day in our society, and it's not because the kids need 7 hours to learn. Yeah.
My son has high anxiety. He's 12. I took him out of school, and his anxiety keeps him from wanting to turn on the camera for K-12 curriculum.
Okay. Are they okay with that at K-12? Yeah, so, I don't know you well. I wish I did. I really do. Let me get closer here. I don't know what's wrong with this. It's me. That's what's wrong. Okay, so, he could start, as long as K-12 understands what you're going through and his issues, and they're not having an issue with him not being on camera, I would just start small, start a little bit. If it's something that you really want to grow in that particular area, then I would start small. But don't sweat it, right? Like look at the other areas in his life that is doing better and that he's growing in, and just pick your battles And then also just remember the amazing qualities. It's so easy when we're raising kids. And by the way, I'm mentioning this because this is a lesson that just this week I've needed to tell myself is like, especially with those teenage years, focusing on how amazing they are, their attributes, their really great qualities, because it's really easy to criticize all day long. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying that I can fall into that trap. And I don't want to be the parent that's constantly like criticizing or talking about what's wrong or the areas that my kids need to grow. Those are important, but I need to choose those areas carefully and let everything else go so that their life is not constant criticism, right? Anyway, yeah. I'm talking to myself right now. Yeah.
H.L. Hankins over on Instagram.
Hi, H.L. Hankins on Instagram.
Starting back tomorrow after having December off. It was lovely, but for some reason I am nervous. Going to ease into it with low expectations, but still nervous for some reason.
Yes, that's normal to be nervous. And by the way, hi, hello Instagram. Good to see you tonight. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok tonight, all at the same time. So come ask your questions. We can see all your questions. We're on a multi-streaming platform right now. So yeah, normal to be nervous. You are right. You see, you're a pro. You ease in. I wish I would take my own advice in terms of easing in after a break. And just remember, it's kind of a joke in the homeschooling world that like the first couple of weeks when you start your school year, it's like the mom is so exhausted, or the parent or the dad, whoever's doing the homeschooling. It's no different when you come back from Christmas break. Just remember that. The closest feeling I can express to what it feels like when you come back from a break is it feels like mono. The level of exhaustion for the parent is insane because you're getting back into routine and everything's like, what do I do? What do I do? The kids are like, what do I do? What do I do? They don't know what to do yet. Even if they knew how to do it a month ago, they still don't know. So just give yourself grace and give yourself time and you'll get back into the rhythm. And don't layer, and you could probably be on this live giving this advice yourself. You know this. Don't layer in another subject in school until those current subjects are running at a clip, and then layer in the next one. It might take you 2 to 3 weeks to get to all the subjects.
Courtney over on Instagram too.
Hi, Courtney.
My 7th grader homeschooling tomorrow. I'm so thankful I found your community.
Oh my goodness.
I think she's in the group.
Yes, Courtney, I know you. Yay! Awesome. And I'm so glad you're here tonight. And you're in my community. Yay! Good.
Shane.
Hi, Shane.
It's so hard not to have crazy expectations for our children. It's my downfall.
Yes, it really is hard. And really, it's part of the indoctrination of society that like more is better and more is not better. It's really hard to get past that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up like this says, but it's hard to realize education doesn't take that much of a day, but we must assure the state that we will provide 900 hours.
Right. So that's, yes. Are you struggling with that? Because I can help you with that. Yeah. Because what's not learning? You go on a hike, you go on a field trip, you bake brownies. Right? It's cooking.
Be creche.
It's math, it's fractions.
Going to have a kindergartner and worried because she's an only. Are co-ops enough to socialize?
Absolutely. So here's what I want to free you of tonight, which is I'm so glad that you're on here, and maybe the whole reason why I went live tonight was for you. And that is, our society thinks that to ensure proper socialization of a child, that child needs to be around 30 plus, if not hundreds of children all day, every day for 12 years, 13 years. The science does not support that. Studies don't support that. We all need healthy social lives. How would you feel if you were at Disneyland around crowds all day, every day, constantly in lines and this and that? It's just, you wouldn't like it. Even if you're an extrovert, you wouldn't like it. I don't know why our society thinks that a homeschooler should be mimicking that. And I'm not saying, I don't think you think that. I'm just saying that it's fascinating to me that our society thinks this is the gold standard for socialization, when also our society accepts that we have introverted kids, we have extroverted kids, we have differently wired kids. So psychologists say, and I'm working on this for my book, and I will have better statistics soon. Hold on, there's a streamer from a party that we had is 2 to 3 times a week is more than appropriate for socializing a child. And there are so many families who homeschool only children, and that's just growing. We have a whole subgroup in my community of a little subgroup of homeschooling onlys. There's quite a few parents in there for the ratio of parents that I have in the group. So yes, and you guys, oh, by the way, on my lives, if I don't get to a question, can you please come in and mentor the moms who are asking? If you see me not getting to a question, please come in and help. This is a group effort here. I don't know everything. I'm here to help, and I'm here to create an environment of learning, and that includes you guys coming in and helping and encouraging. So please comment.
Audrey Donovan over on YouTube.
Hi, Audrey.
My 5-year-old groans when I get her phonics book out and says she doesn't want to learn to read.
Okay.
I don't want to force anything, but how do I get her motivated?
Do you think it's the book? Do you think you need a curriculum? There's a lot of reasons why kids are resistant to learning. So as the professional educator, the first thing I want to eliminate is any learning issue that she might have. I'm not saying she has that. I'm saying this is the first thing. I'm a professional educator, right, by training. So that's the first thing that I would try to eliminate, and is make sure there isn't maybe a learning disability that is making learning really hard and challenging for her. It could be that the curriculum is boring and dry. It could be that she's not ready to learn to read. It could be that she may need a little bit more of an interest-led approach, a curriculum change, lots of things. But don't fret. If she's not ready, she'll get ready. And this is what I will say. Here's your golden nugget. Read to her. Because humans love story. And if you can make her fall in love with story, like good, juicy, cliffhanger stories. And yeah, even at 5, you have those. You have Tum Tum and Nutmeg and Bramberley Hedge and Prairie Thief. You have these amazing books you have Paddington. You have such good books for a 5-year-old to read. Babe, my battery's about to die on my phone. You have such great books too. We're looking for a charger to read a 5-year-old. So if she's not ready to learn to read herself, make her fall in love with story. Thanks, babe. Okay. Because she'll be motivated to learn to read on her own. I promise. Unless if everything is going okay, like there could be an eye tracking issue that makes it painful for her to read. There could be dyslexia. There could be other things. So I like to eliminate those first. But even if she has any learning challenge, she will still fall in love with story if you read out loud to her. Okay? And that's for everybody. If your kid is not loving learning or not loving reading, read out loud to them every single day. And I know that's a sacrifice. I know that's hard. It's probably the most important thing that you could do within your child's education is reading out loud to them. I'm serious. So I taught SAT and ACT prep for 17 years. I am not kidding you when I tell you the kids who score the best, who needed the least amount of prep, who could think better, all of it, they were the readers. They were the readers. That is the highest priority after teaching test prep for 17 years, the highest priority in our household is to make sure that our kids fall in love with story. Yeah.
Somebody's saying,
and we have 4 kids, and they're not all the same type of reader, and they didn't all read at the same time. It doesn't matter.
Somebody said, don't they say the brain isn't fully developed to read until the age of 7 anyway?
No, kids can learn to read before that. It's fine if your kid's not reading by 7. There's nothing to be alarmed about. But you can be a reader before that. No pressure. I'm not saying you should be. But, yeah.
Um,
But that's a very good point. I think the point she's trying to make is not to stress.
Yeah.
Is why you added that, and I'm so glad that you did, actually, because that was something that I had forgotten to mention. Like, also, don't sweat it. She might not be ready. Yeah, thank you for who was that added that. I think that was really important to add.
Money Talks Crypto.
Money Talks Crypto. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Reinventing Hope.
If you feel like I'm forgetting something that I like to say normally, chime in. There's no pride here. I'm just trying to help people. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. I'm Christy Faith. We're talking all about education, homeschooling, parenting. Any questions you have, I am a 20-year veteran educator turned homeschool advocate and mentor. So come on in. You're welcome here.
Reinventing Hope, IG. We do K-12, but I don't like some of their approach. Thinking of doing traditional homeschool. Where do I start? I want to teach him all the things he needs.
Okay. So I'm making an assumption. I don't know if I should. When you say the phrase, I want to teach him all the things he needs, and you are coming from K-12, my deduction is that you are more of a traditional style of a homeschooler, and a traditional style homeschooler generally prefers to keep their kids on track with the standards, like state standards, unlike an unschooler or a Charlotte Mason schooler who doesn't go by state standards. So if you want to try a different approach to homeschooling and you don't like K-12, which a lot of parents do not like K-12, and you are correct, K-12 is not, it's a version of homeschooling, but you can look at something like Monarch or Abeka, something like that. Bookshark. Bookshark is secular. Sunlight is the Christian version of Bookshark. It's the same company. You can look at something like that.
Reinventing Hope says, I want a mix of creative, but also what's required.
Okay, a mix of creative and also what's required. Okay, so with that, you're going to have to choose what to let go of, because this is why I'm saying this. In the traditional style of schooling and the traditional style of homeschooling, it's a lot. It is a lot of content. And so you can't have, I have not found that you can have the best of both worlds. You have to kind of decide, okay, we're going to follow the state standards in everything but history. And in history, we're going to have fun. And we're going to read living books, and we're going to do projects. And then you choose a curriculum company like Sunlight or Beautiful Feet Books or Build Your Library to then kind of go off the map with teaching history. It's very, very difficult and a recipe for burnout if you want to have all of the state standards and all of that in line and then have creativity. It calls for a very long school day. So generally speaking, what I advise, and there is nothing wrong with how you want to do it. I love it, and I want to help you do it. What I would say is choose in priority level the subjects that are the most important to you. So that might be math. Okay, boom, we are following math state standards. It might be the sciences, whatever. And then for other subjects, you might want to go a little bit out of the box, and I would go with a different style of curriculum, maybe a Charlotte Mason, maybe a classical that still looks a little standardish. It's still highly academic, but more enjoyable, more fun, more projects, more hands-on. So you can look at something like The Good and the Beautiful, Build Your Library, things like that. The Good and the Beautiful, Simply Charlotte Mason. Generally, parents tend to do well when they're dipping into the Charlotte Mason curriculum options rather than farther out. Let me know if I'm not clear. I feel like I may not have been very clear with that. So, and I want to be clear, and I want you to have the help that you need tonight. So please, if you need more clarification, I will come back. Don't you worry, okay?
Becky K.
It could be my brain. And so just bring me back. Bring Christy back, okay?
Becky K. Over on Facebook, Knowing what I know now, I wish I had homeschooled from the beginning. My kids are in high school now, and I don't think I want to homeschool now, but I think I'm still thinking about doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Just seems too late and would be a fight with them at this point. And I'm terrible with high school math. Just
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, so I don't know any homeschooler who's teaching math. So high school math. Thank you, Scott. So homeschooling in the later years is more about sourcing and getting the kids out of the toxic environment and finding the best resources for them. That's really what homeschooling looks like in the older years. And having more time for what those kids love and interest-led activities, like whether it's archery or woodworking or something else. So you would probably use a combination of live online classes, some self-study courses, and then and do it that way. So you can do OutSchool, stuff like that. So it's not too late to homeschool for high school. I coach many parents on homeschooling in high school. Everyone asks the same question. It's too late. Is it too late, Christy? Is it too late? It's not too late. You can give them, if they have 2 years left, you can give them the most amazing 2 years. You have 2 years left with them. You can have those together. You can prepare them for the real world in these last 2 years and talk about and train in the most important things for life before they leave your home. It's not too late at all. You can do this. And what's cool is at their age, they can help you pick the programs they want to use, the curriculum they want to use. They can be an active participant. When you sign up for AP chemistry, you don't have at public school, you don't have a choice of what teacher you get, what curriculum you're going to use. So yeah, you can absolutely do this.
Quick shout out to Brandy and B. Kayla.
Brandy, B. Kayla. Oh, my friends are here. Both are in my membership and both are friends. Hi, guys, gals. I'm glad you're here tonight. I love my people.
A follow-up to Carrie Trammell.
Okay.
I'm at a point now where I can't teach the chemistry and trigonometry.
No.
And then she said, "Oh, I'm so glad to hear that."
Yeah, no, we don't teach the chemistry and trigonometry. No, we're not teaching that. No, but we're finding better people than what's offered in the public schools. I can tell you that much. My son's Latin teacher has her degree from Stanford in classical languages. That's who I was able to find. You can find such better instructors when you homeschool, like mind-blowingly better. And actually, those smart people prefer going private education routes because they don't have to deal with the bull crap of the public schools. Think about it for a second. If you're like a brilliant person in classical languages, I'm sorry, but like, she's making so much more money teaching at these private homeschool academies. Think about it, right? Like, and she's so talented. She's so good. So absolutely. We're not, by those high school years, we are in the driver's seat, and by the way, not only are we in the driver's seat for our high schoolers' education, but they're with us. We're in driver training because we want to launch them out into the real world and be adequately prepared. It's so funny because people accuse homeschoolers of not preparing our kids for real life. We do such a better job at it than conventionally, and it's not necessarily the parents' fault. It's that society teaches us that the schools have it covered, that the schools are teaching our kids real life. It's just, you got to rethink it all. You have to deconstruct it, right? You got to de-school. I hate using the word de-school because I feel like it's so overused and it sounds very wooey. So it's not my favorite word to use, but yeah.
Okay, great.
No one's asking me are people asking me questions that will get me in trouble tonight?
No.
Okay. Not like last time.
Yeah.
Do we have any trolls tonight?
I don't know.
A couple trolls. Okay.
Mild trolls.
Okay.
Ashley Escobar, why is finding other homeschoolers so hard to find? She wants other kids for her kids, 5 and 3.
5 and 3. So the best place to find them for your kids, of course, the best place to find homeschool moms is in my group, because we're awesome and we're special and there's no group like anybody else. But my group is closed, so sorry. You can get on the wait list though. So, but for kids, for your own kids, go on Facebook. It's honestly the best place, because homeschool groups close a lot and shift around and that type of a thing. So if you go on Facebook and you search in the search bar like homeschoolers of preschoolers, homeschoolers of this county, Denver County, homeschoolers, you just keep doing tons and tons of different searches. Faith-based homeschoolers, Christian homeschoolers, secular homeschoolers, whatever you are. Keep putting that in the Facebook and join all those groups, and people will come out of the woodwork, I promise. Yeah.
Tiffany asks, do you think it is healthy to homeschool and only?
I do, Tiffany. I do. I think that it looks different than homeschooling a family with a lot of siblings. So my sister has an only, and she is homeschooling, and I have 4, and I am homeschooling. She's going to make different decisions than me for what is best for her son than I am going to make for my family. And that's okay. But I still think the system is still the system, and the system is still putting 1 kid in the system is the same as putting 4 kids in the system. It's still the system. So this is one thing that I learned. You have an experience that a lot of moms, a lot of parents aren't going to ever understand. This is what I've learned with my sister, who has an only, is that there are just some things that I won't understand. I felt this very similarly when I had twins. Don't judge me right now, because I'm about to tell you something I did with my twins that might be controversial. But I did it, and I'm going to stand by it. I had twins, and my twins were really difficult. Really, really, not difficult in like that they were difficult. Like, not their personalities, but they were preemies. They cried a lot. They had a ton of reflux. It was really hard. They cried a lot. They were born early. And right off the bat, I had an older singleton before the twins. I could not parent them in the same way that I parented my first singleton. Not only that, but I made decisions that I would have never made with having my first, that I made with them, that were the right decision for our family. Okay, so one of those, everyone sit down and calm down before I tell you what I did. I sleep trained my twins. When the doctor told me I could, I thought I was going to die of sleep deprivation, like my mental health was suffering. So was Scott's. He's trying to work. His work was suffering. He wasn't able to think well at work. We had the best decision for our family was to sleep train our twins. And we did it. And we did it in a way that we felt was healthy for them. And they ended up sleeping through the night, and they have slept through the night since. But what I'm telling you is, I had to be okay with friends who were so against sleep training. I had to be okay with whatever the hell they thought, because this was my life and this was my family, and they weren't in my head, and they did not know my particular situation. And so I just had to be at peace with it, and I had to let it go. And I feel like when you have an only child and you're homeschooling, you're going to have very similar situations where you're like, I don't care what they think, what other people think. I don't care how she homeschools her 8 kids. How I homeschool my only is going to look different. I'm going to do different things. I'm going to pick different curriculum. I might do more programming, whatever. Okay, so you be free, because I'm free of what I had to do with the twins, and it was the right thing for my family, regardless of even what anyone on my live thinks about me sleep training my twins. I don't care. Even if not sleep training was the right thing for your family, right? And so there's freedom. There's freedom in the little nuanced decisions that we make when we homeschool. Okay. Did I cross the line?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Stacy Marie Stanton.
Stacy! Again, why are you here?
Oh,
Stacy has twins.
and Ray Grace will get to you.
Ray Grace will get to you. Stacy has twins. And you know what? She may have sleep trained her twins. She may not have. And you know what? I support you, whatever you did, Stacy.
Stacy says, one of my girls told me tonight she doesn't like school because I'm her teacher.
Oh, Stacy. I'm sorry. I don't want to. Okay. We can talk about that later. Okay.
Okay, so Ray Grace. So I homeschool myself in high school.
Okay.
What are some recommendations you have for me?
Okay. Oh, Ray. Okay.
Ray Grace.
Okay, you homeschool yourself. What recommendations do you need? You guys, let's give a heart. We have a homeschool high schooler in here tonight. What advice do you need? What do you need? Are you college bound? Are you want to make sure that you're prepared for your SATs, ACTs? What do you need tonight? I can help you. I'm so glad you're here. So yeah, keep going. Okay.
Okay. My son, Jennifer Connolly. I'm sorry.
Jennifer Connolly?
Kimberly. That's funny. My son is 3rd grade and has his first year of testing this year, and I'm so nervous about it.
Don't be nervous about the testing. Okay, homeschool moms. And then Ray Grace came back in, and so yes, I can help you with your plan for the SAT and the ACT. But back to the other question, 1st grader? What was it?
3rd grader.
3rd grader testing.
Yep.
Okay, here's the deal about the testing. It's their way of keeping track of us. They don't really check. I've never known a homeschooling parent ever who, like, their rights to homeschool were revoked based on how their kids performed on testing. And the reason why, think about it. Think of how many kids in our public schools that completely fail on those tests. Okay? So they can't hold us to a standard that they don't hold themselves to. Also keep in mind that you could be homeschooling your child because your child has special needs. So they do not punish us or revoke our rights for not doing well on the required testing per year. I've never heard of it in all of my life. If it ever did happen, if they tried to encroach on your rights for that, you would get HSLDA on the phone immediately, and they would come to bat for you. So do not worry about that for one bit, okay? I have to do state testing as well, or I have to do standardized testing. I do the CAT test is what I do. I do it every other year, and it's required in my state.
Ray Grace says studying, staying on track in SATs.
Okay, Ray Grace, do you want a really good test prep company to buy from, or do you want me to tell you how to do it for free?
Okay. And then
the free part's harder because it's more work on you. It's both are work for you, but I can tell you how to do it. Courtney, so I'll wait for you. Don't go away, Ray Grace. We're going to help you tonight.
And Courtney, we're going to get to you soon.
Courtney?
But first, we have Kate over on Insta.
Hi, Kate.
I put curriculum together on my own, and we're kind of a go with the flow. But I wonder if I'm too unorganized. I have trouble paying for and committing to a specific curriculum in case it doesn't work out.
Yes. Do you know what style of homeschooler you are? So she's on Instagram, and she's saying, oh my gosh, people are like meeting each other in my live, and I'm loving this right now. I love you guys. She's over on Instagram. She's feeling a little bit unorganized. She has trouble committing and paying for curriculum. Are her kids getting older? Where it's kind of time. Sure. You know what? What curriculum moms never regret buying is The Good and the Beautiful, like ever. That would be a starter one, I would say. Yeah. I've never known a mom to buy The Good and the Beautiful and go, oh, I hate it, like ever.
Oh, she says eclectic. It's only her 2nd year.
Okay, yeah. It's a great starter curriculum. It will serve you well for all of your years of homeschooling if you choose to stay with it. I don't work with them, I don't represent them, but I'm going to tell you the truth. So it's cheap in terms of the buy-in expense. It's one of the cheapest as well, and it's well written, well done. Yeah.
Okay.
Based on what you're expressing.
Somebody asked, "Oh, what's your group about, and why should I join it?"
What's my group about, and why should I join it? Well, my group is closed right now. It's going to reopen in the spring. But basically, what do? I haven't talked about it in a while. We do lots of things. I mentor you. We have workshops, discussion groups. We do all sorts of amazing things in my group. It's pretty groundbreaking. There's no group like it. And if you would appreciate being mentored by me and my team of mentors, on a lot of Zooms with me, in workshops, we discuss themes every month, themes that are pertinent to homeschooling. We're about to do a whole workshop on curriculum overwhelm, right? Which you guys have a lot of questions regarding that. Finding our why. Finding our why is so important in homeschooling because it helps us make all of our decisions. When we know why we're doing what we're doing and we've really honed in on those reasons, it helps us say yes and say no to all the things that we need to say yes to yes and no to no. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing group. Lots of value in it. And it's closed, but you can get on the wait list. So I still have a button in my bio, and you can click that and put your email in. And so when it reopens, you can get an email. Yeah.
Masael's so sweet.
Masael.
She was on TikTok, now she's over on Insta, and she said we support each other. It's great.
Oh, I love you so much. Good. And anybody in my group, you can talk about your experience with me. After getting to know me, do you like me? Are we still good?
Ray Grace, she says, "Free girl, I have no money." This is about if she's
okay. And is Ray a boy or a girl?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
And she says, "I love you so much."
I love you too. Free. Get college board. Okay, ready? Here is your SAT, ACT. This is what you need to do. You need to go get practice tests written by the college board. Don't go to by a Kaplan. No. You get the college board tests, the real ones. You take the tests. You go through the answer guide, and you take the test for realsies, like you timed and everything. You go through the answer guide, and you go through every single question that you've missed, and you need to understand why you missed the question and what you will do differently the next time you get a question like that. If you don't understand why you missed the question, you find help. You find someone, go to your teacher, someone, to say, "Can you explain why I missed this problem?" And you keep doing that, and you keep doing that. You take a practice. You don't take 4 practice tests. No. You don't take 8. No. You don't take 10. No. You take 20. This is how you spend your Saturdays and Sundays. You take practice tests, and you go over your missed questions. That is how you will ace these tests. So the reason why I'm telling you that is, 1, that's what we would do. Parents would pay the tutor to do that, my tutors. Number 2, there is a finite amount of logic on these tests. And the logic is repeated because they have to be standardized. So there's no surprise questions on these tests. Okay, so let me contextualize this for you. On one copy of, say your test number 5 of the ACT, and then you take test number 10, they have to have the same logical questions, the same type of reasoning. Otherwise, they're not fair, because one kid in Idaho is going to take test 7 and one kid in California is going to take test 4. How are they going to compare those kids? Those tests are standardized. They have to be standardized. They have to test kids on the same logic and critical thinking skills. And those are a finite amount on these tests. That is good news. That is good news because the critical thinking and the logic on these tests can be mastered, but you can't do it by taking one practice test cramming overnight. It's like saying that I went to the gym yesterday, why don't I have a six-pack? Like, no. You need to just completely desensitize yourself to these tests and know exactly what to expect. And that's how to do it. And if you're up for it, you'll do awesome. And it will cost you nothing other than the cost of the booklets.
From moving along, I want to homeschool my kids, but my kids want to stay in school for the friends.
Yes.
How they relate it to how COVID was.
It's not like how COVID was. And, but let's validate them. Let's validate them and their concerns. I'm getting a little hot. But I'm not going to take this. What does the hair look like under here? Dare I? No. We'll just take off the vest. Okay, so you want to homeschool, your kids don't and they're worried about their friends. So here's one thing that I want to say. Ray Grace, thanks for the hearts. Yeah. I hope you're encouraged tonight. You can do well on the SAT or the ACT. You can. That's your plan. People paid me up to $10,000 per kid to test prep their kid. This is what we had our tutors do with the kids. We had them go over practice tests over and over and over and over and over again. You can do that on your own. You don't need to pay someone to do it. You just need to be diligent, and you can, okay? You can. Yes. I want to go back to the other mom who the kids don't want to give up their friends. Here's the thing with kids is sometimes they're resistant because it's new and unknown. So during the pandemic, no one could see their friends. No one could see any friends. Even for homeschoolers, all of our stuff was canceled. All of it. So it was a different experience for us too. Now, academically, we were able to stay on track with everything that we were doing already. But socially and extracurricularly, all of our stuff was canceled. So our social experience, even for homeschoolers, was different during the pandemic than it is now or was before. It's not going to be the same for your kids. The other thing with kids is you often get resistance because they don't know what they don't know, and what they don't know is scary. It's even scary for us. Like, think about going into new environments or having to move states. We moved to Colorado from California. It's just so unknown and you're scared. And I don't know if I want to do this. But once you do it and you create a new, really amazing life for yourself, or in your case, for your kids, an amazing social life for them on the homeschooling side of things, they're going to say, oh, I don't know what I was scared of, right? So in this particular instance, I am a firm believer in, and this might be controversial, maybe, I don't know who might disagree with me, and that's okay, but I definitely do think that parents are the leaders and the guides, that kids, like my 8-year-old is 8. She doesn't know everything about life yet. And do I listen to her? Yes. Do I hear her concerns? Yes. Does she know what's best for her at 8 years old? Sometimes, but not all the time. That's my job. My job is to know what's best for her. And hopefully she knows what's best for her. And my goal in raising her is to train her to know what's best for her. But an 8-year-old does not know everything that's the best for them, right? And so this is why we are the leaders. We need to gently guide them and do what's right for our kids. And you can do it in not an authoritarian way. Authoritarian is like the negative one, right? Like authoritative is the good one. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do it in a very respectful way where you're hearing them and listening to them and listening to their feelings and validating them. But ultimately, you know what's right for your family. And they're scared of what they don't know. So I hope that's a little bit of an encouragement.
Yeah. Back to, let's see where she is. Well, first, before I do that, we have Lana Higgins, first day homeschooling tomorrow.
Lana, can we give Lana hugs? Lana, congratulations.
Courtney, Okay, she's having a hard time getting her husband on board.
Courtney, did you bring him to my live? Is he here?
I think this is another one.
Another Courtney? Okay. If your husbands have a hard time coming on board with the homeschooling, can you bring them to my live right now and have them ask me questions?
Oh,
I want to hear their questions. They're valid questions.
She can't. She said no.
Okay, so here's the thing about a spouse that may not be on board is it's really important that I'm giving advice based on the assumption that you're in a healthy marriage and that these are just sincerely valid concerns. It's so important that this decision is made together and that you both are on board with it. And so often there's lots of things that I advise that families do. One of them is to make a list, to have your spouse make a list of, in this case, it's a wife and the husband is concerned. So in this case, have him make a list of all of his concerns about homeschooling so that you can discuss each one. Maybe make a plan for each one or say, no, that's actually pretty valid. I don't know if I can fix that one for you, honey. Let's go to the next thing. And then ultimately you weigh, because there's pros and cons of every decision. You're not going to it's not like homeschooling answers every single question, every problem. But the other thing that's really great is invite families over who are homeschooling so that your husband can see those kids, ask questions, find out what they're doing, and just making sure that all of his fears are discussed and that he feels heard. Yeah, that's where I would start without knowing you. But
she says, yeah, he doesn't say much, but he just thinks the kids need to go to school.
Yeah. So a great book for him to read, maybe if he's open to reading some books, is Hold On to Your Kids by Gordon Neufeld and Gabor Mate. Another great book is called Dumbing Us Down by John Taylor Gatto. And then, of course, my book that's not out yet. But my book would be a great one for him too. The one that I'm writing now, but it's not out yet.
Marcel shared this. I have the same conversation with my husband right now, and I'm asking him about it.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And you guys, I know I'm pro homeschool. I know that is my account, but I don't think for 1 second I think everyone should homeschool. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a fit for every family.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we've had so many questions.
Okay.
It's hard to get to.
Okay, we're having a hard time getting to questions.
Kaylee.
Friends, if you see me not getting to a question, please answer it for me. Those of you who know me well and are on my lives, you know how I'm going to answer it, but that doesn't mean you don't have amazing things to add yourself too. So please get to questions if you don't see me getting to it, and then we'll try to get to as many. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
I'll try to answer them quicker.
Okay.
So I don't read them. I don't know if you know that. I see a couple down here, but I like to look at the camera so Scott tells me the questions.
Kaylee.
Because I want to look at you.
Kaylee Sanchez, first time here. I've always been interested in homeschooling. What's the general cost?
Kaylee, yay! You're interested in homeschooling. The general cost, the last I checked, was between $800 and $1,200 a year for the first kid, and then the price goes down for remaining kids. So it is not free. It is one of the downsides of homeschooling. I do think it's probably ultimately financially a little bit more expensive than public school. That depends on what kind of food you buy your kid, what kind of clothes you buy your kid, what kind of a PTA mom you are. But a lot of parents feel that it's pretty comparable. And homeschooling can be done for free. There are free programs too. Yeah.
A. Aravello, my 1-year-old is saying hi to you and blowing kisses.
Oh, hi. Oh.
Very cute.
Hi. How are you tonight?
Sarah asks, is there an easy way to
A
keep
baby's
track
on here.
or organize the schoolwork each week?
To keep on track and organize the schoolwork each week. Yeah, you can buy a homeschool planner. There's lots of great ones. There's a gal in my community that sells beautiful ones. What's her name? Do you guys know her name? put it in there. Or if you're here, put your name, plug yourself. And I generally, what do I do? What do I do? I have a trough, like a book trough with what I'm currently using. And all of my kids have checklists that I'm always adapting. And they know what they're supposed to be doing at any given time in the day. And their school day is not done until they've done it. And then I have set appointment times in my day where I meet with my kids. And then I have times where I'm teaching lessons too. So I have 4 kids. But staying organized, everyone has a different system. You can do files. But yeah.
Maybe troll? I don't know. But she's...
Ooh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. She said, is homeschooling just an hour a day for elementary?
No. No.
And then she says, so mom can work and still homeschool 1 hour a day.
I'm sorry?
She's asking, so mom can work and still
a
homeschool.
preschooler, kindergartner, yeah, homeschooling really can be done in an hour a day, for sure. Adequately so, beautifully so. I work full time and I homeschool 4 kids. The nice thing about working and homeschooling is that the older your kids get, the more independent they get in their learning. And I choose my curriculum really carefully, where I'm always looking for curriculum where, yes, they can come to me when they need me, but I like them to self-start. And yes, there are some curriculum that I choose that I am teaching the lessons. Yes, I want to teach history. I love teaching history. I love reading out loud. I love morning time. I want a really amazing morning time with my kids every morning. I do that myself. But then when it comes to spelling, this is me. That doesn't need to be you. But when it comes to spelling, I buy them a workbook and then I check it because I work. I'm not going to hover over them. I actually don't think that's a great way to homeschool, is hovering over your kid all day either. So we have lives too. So, it's just that balance based on mom's personality, kids' learning profile, what they need, what style of homeschooler you are. There's a lot involved in that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Millions of questions.
Okay. Millions of questions.
Here, but we need to go pretty soon.
Oh no. Okay, and we're not wrapping up, but we're winding down. So ask your questions now.
We've been going through a hard time these last couple months, and I'm worried about my next quarterly.
Quarterly?
I don't know, quarterly assessment with her kids.
Oh, the quarterly, an assessment is what you're worried about? Just give me some more information.
Yeah.
Were you here for when I talked about assessments about a half hour ago?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I just need to know what you mean by quarterly, and then I can answer you.
Oh, and person just followed up with, can school just be done on the weekend when mom and dad are home?
That is possible, and I do know families that do that. I do know families that do that. It's possible. Yes.
Okay.
It depends on your state requirements. It depends on if that works for your kid too, and his or her learning profile. In the younger elementary years, it does not take that long to homeschool a child. It does not take 7 hours. And then as they get into the upper elementary and junior high years, it does take more hours per day, but you are not needed for those, or you shouldn't be at least, I don't think. I think you should be starting to teach independence. So, yeah.
Karen Polk asks, any advice for ACT, SAT prepping my high schooler?
Yeah, ACT, SAT prep, I highly recommend that you look at College Prep Genius, and the link is in my bio. I came to her, so I taught test prep for 17 years. I don't teach it anymore, but I had a lot of questions, and I wanted to have somewhere where I could send people. I love the way Jean does it. She is a woman of integrity. She does not take advantage of parents. A lot of test prep companies feed on parents' fear. She does not. I love her. I love her as a human being, and I love her as a person who does SAT prep. And she does it correctly. She does not teach your kid stuff that they do not need to know. She teaches them what gets you the bang for your buck on the tests, which means she teaches what you get your ROI, you get your return on investment with how she prioritizes her curriculum. And that's really important because you don't want to spend 5 weeks memorizing thousands of vocabulary cards for 1 point. That's not a good ROI. You want to spend 10 hours on something where you're going to get tons of points as a benefit on the other side, right? So you got to look at test prep in terms of ROI, and is the company taking advantage of you? And there's a lot of bad test prep companies out there who are taking advantage of parents.
Sarah asks, can I homeschool grade 8 with no previous experience
Yeah,
doing this?
absolutely. Yes, you can. And you can do it better. You can do it better. So grab my 26-page How to Homeschool guide. Grab that tonight. Download it, read that, and then shoot me an email, okay? And then we'll talk about it.
Black Gable says, any language arts curriculum for 8th grade?
Lots of language arts curriculum options for 8th grade. Tons. Yeah, absolutely.
Just wants to know your recommendations, I think.
What style of homeschooler are you? I'd like to know what style of homeschooler you are. That would help me narrow it down in my head of the hundreds.
I know.
Yeah.
Courtney.
But I want to help you, so let me know what style you are.
Courtney Devereaux says, any suggestions for a low-cost secular curriculum for a 6th grader?
A low-cost secular, well, there's K-12. There's quite a few out there now. Bookshark. There's quite a few out there. Build Your Library. They're popping up. Pandia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Piper asks, homeschooling dyslexic options?
Yes. Lots of options for homeschooling with dyslexia. I would first make sure. So this is I was in education for 20 years and I helped a lot of kids who had different learning profiles or were differently wired. You want to make sure that she's reading and not just reading, decoding. You want to make sure that she is comprehending what she's reading, which is concept imagery. So you need to make sure that that is taken care of. And if it's not, you need to look at a program like Linda Mood Bell to take care of that. Once you take care of that, then everything else is a lot easier on you and on her.
Joni thinks your earrings look Hmong inspired. So pretty.
Oh, what inspired?
Hmong.
What's Hmong?
I don't know. I think some Asia.
Oh, thank you. Do you guys know that if you sign up on the Kendra Scott birthday list and you put in your birthday, every year on your birthday, you get half off any item in the store. And so I get one pair a year and I get a big pair because I want half off something significant. So this was, I don't know, 3 years ago. I got these. I do think they're cute. Thank you. If you guys know me, I rewear. So I like to buy, I'm more of like a capsule wardrobe type of a person. And I like to buy higher quality items that I wear for years. So you'll always see me in a gold hoop that I wear a lot. I love those. They're real gold. They're hoops and I love them. And so I just like rotate. I don't want to overthink my outfits either. It's just too much. I have too much to think about.
Yeah. That person followed up with, why can't we make public school great?
I don't think public school, I'm going to answer her question, K Dent 59.
Yeah.
I don't think public school was ever intended to be great for kids. If you look at the history of public schooling, compulsory schooling in America, it was not created to provide a good education for children. It was created to serve the government and then later the industrialists. So, and then, as you know, it's just such a huge institution that, and then now we have unions and politics and all of that, that I'm not convinced it's possible. And it's not my calling. It might be yours. Because I do get criticism quite a bit of, well, what are you doing, Christy, to change the public schools? You should be, people telling me what I should be doing. It's not my calling. My calling is to home education and to inspire moms who their heart is tugging at them, that they know their kids shouldn't be in the public schools. They know it's not the right place for them. To inspire moms that, no, I can do it. And even if I don't have a teaching degree or any experience at all, I can still do this and I can do it better. Did you know that public schoolers outscore by 15 to 30% academically? Homeschoolers. Yeah, sorry. Homeschoolers outscore conventionally schooled kids, both in public and private schools. So here's the public and private school kids here. Homeschoolers outscore them academically by 15 to 30%. And these are not made up numbers. We have to take the same standardized tests that other kids have to take. And we are outscoring these kids in doing school in half the amount of hours per day. Without the mental stress, without the anxiety, without the comparison, without the peer orientation, which if you don't know what peer orientation is, grab the book, Hold On to Your Kids by Gabor Mate and Gordon Neufeld. It's one of the best books I've read in the last 10 years. So I always find it an interesting comment when, and I'm not saying you did that, it just striked my memory, that when people, they see me being a pro homeschooler on social media and they're like, you should be trying to change the system. No, but maybe you should. If your heart is to change the system and you think I should be doing it, and that's where your heart is, maybe you should. But my calling is to inspire moms to bring their children home and to take back their hearts and minds and to give them the most beautiful, enriching childhood. Did you know that 87% of studies show that homeschooled kids are healthier than conventionally schooled kids socially, psychologically, and emotionally? Not one study, 87% of the studies show that. And that we're accused of not properly socializing our kid. So, yeah.
And Lily pipes in, I can't even get our district to approve an IEP for my severely dyslexic son, and I am a teacher.
Yeah, I hear you. Yes. Not surprised at all, Lily. Yeah.
Britt.
And don't even get me started on special ed. Do you have an hour? No, we don't have an hour. Don't even get me started on what special ed is doing to our kids.
Britt, homeschooling a gifted child? Advice.
Yes, did you know that gifted is a special need? That's one thing I want to shout from the rooftops, is when you have a gifted child, you need to consider them to be special needs. Yes, they have special needs that the school system cannot meet. I feel like that's very freeing for a lot of parents to hear. And yes, that's all the more reason to homeschool. Yeah.
So we should go pretty soon.
Okay, we gotta go soon.
Aaron McDonald says, thoughts on hybrid charter homeschool model, homeschooling with guidance and 2 days in mixed grade class.
Yes. I support all the different ways to homeschool. This person is saying that there are charters, hybrids, all sorts of things. We have those here in our state too, even locally. We have like private schools that do drop-off days. We have charter schools that do drop-off days, hybrid schooling, all of that. You know what? I know many moms who would not be able to homeschool if it wasn't for some of those programs. So I think that this is the thing about homeschooling. It's you in the driver's seat. It's you choosing what's best for your family. And so there's all different ways to do it. And I think all the new ways, the pods, the micro schools, the cottage schools, the hybrid days, I think all of this is wonderful, because it used to be 20 years ago, there wasn't even open and go curriculum. You had to sit there with your kid all day. So we have come so far in homeschooling, and it's very exciting. The future is bright for us. Yeah. So, okay, on that, should I end, you guys? I'm planning to go live Tuesday. Don't hold me to it, but because we still have company. My in-laws are downstairs, so I want to go and have some coffee and maybe another cookie. I have these almond cookies that are so good right now. And anyway, so you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you later on in the week. And if you're in my membership, I'll see you this week, okay? All right. Love you guys. Bye.